Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another quick card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com or stampsandtea.stampinup.net is my demonstrator website. So the card we're going to make today is called a double Z fold card, and we're going to use the Painted Christmas DSP, which is on page 29 of the July to December mini catalogue. And the stamp set we're going to use is called Regal Reindeer, and it has some nice sentiments and nice wording in it, and it's a nice versatile stamp set. You can use it for a lot. This is the DSP. And this is the sheet we're going to use today. It has nice pine cones on one side, and if you look at the other, it's just wispy evening evergreen, sort of fades in and out, and wispy leaves. And all the other sheets in the set are equally nice. You know, they're all nicely double-sided, nice, you know, nice bright there, nice leaves there. The red's a bit abstract. I don't know what I'd do with that, but the other side of the red is nice pine cones, and there's another nice, you know, traditional red and green color for Christmas. So let's get started. We're going to use a traditional card base, of course, 8.5 by 5.5, and usually this is where I say and score it at 4 1/4, but today I'm going to say score it at 2 1/8 and then score it at 4 1/4. So you'd score it at 2 1/8 and then you'd score it at 4 1/4. Now when you close the card, this piece folds back on itself onto the card, and it makes a nice Z fold for your card. We've also got another piece which makes the second Z fold, and this piece is 8 1/4 by 3 inches, so it's 8 1/4 by 3, and it's scored at 3 5/8 and 5 3/4, and it's going to fold this way, I think, and then this way. So there's your second Z for your card. Okay, just give that a little extra crease because we need that to lie down nice and flat. Where's my bone folder? There it is. There. So we've got that. We've got a piece for the inside of the card, and this is the DSP that we're using. Now the first time I made the card, excuse me, the first time I made the card, I had this side up. I'm going to make this one this way, and then we'll compare them both at the end. So we've got this piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4, goes here. We have two pieces at what would they be? 5 1/4, of course, because the full length, by 1 7/8, and they go on the sections here. So it'll sit like that. Then for the Z, we've got 3 pieces of DSP, and we're going to turn these over and use the reverse of these. And we've got 3 3/8 by 2 3/4. And then we have, let me think, 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. And I have a third piece of paper which is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4, and it goes there. So that's all the DSP we need. We've got these and we've got these, and we'll start putting the card together. Now we could do the stamping right now, and that would get that out of the way and give the evening evergreen ink time to dry, because it does take a minute or two to dry, the evening evergreen. So this is a piece of basic white. It is 5 1/4 by 4, and it's actually going on the very back of the card because there's really no way on the inside to write. We're going to stamp on the back, and we're going to stamp the wishing you a wonderful season filled with all the good things that warm your heart and lift your spirit. The sentiment on the front is going to say peace on earth, and we're going to stamp that on a scrap of basic white. Evening evergreen ink pad. We've also got a scrap of evening evergreen to mount the sentiment on for the front. Looks good. Line it up. Nice. Evening evergreen ink to me is like red to a lot of people. It just goes everywhere, and if I get it on my hands it stays for days. I'm going to stab Peace on Earth in there. Lovely. So we'll just put this to one side to let it dry. Time we actually put the paper on, the DSP on the card. So that, I've got lots of room to work. Got some liquid glue here. Right, so these pieces of paper are going to go this way this time. Right? Yes. Just set them there, we'll move that. Okay, let's get going. And I'm using liquid glue so that I can move the paper around if it's not quite lined up. I don't have to peel it off if I've used regular adhesive. And on this I should have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And this piece goes in the center, and this piece was 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. The first piece, come on, whoop, there it goes. The first piece was 3 3/8 by 2 3/4. And I think already I've done this card. Oh no, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. I thought I had put the DSP down wrong. There. And this last piece is 2 1/8 or 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. You just have to juggle it and make sure it fits. Measure twice, cut once. Or in my case, measure twice, and then you still have to recut it to get it to the right size. And that goes there. Looking at my folds, making sure I've got 1/8 of an inch around. So that's the pieces for one of the Z's on the card. Set that to one side, and we'll bring in the main part. And this part we're going to use the paper going this way up. So again we're going to have about 1/8 of an inch going around the outside. I'm not having much luck here with glue, am I? Let's see what we've got in this one. That's better. Maybe those green Tombos are empty, I don't really know. They seem to last forever until you're making a video and you really need it and you don't have any glue. And there you go, about 1/8 of an inch around. Slide that, and that's why you use liquid glue. Oops, get there. So you just put that face down. Give it a good press. Hopefully no glue came out and squirted onto the tabletop. So this is how it sits. This is my scrap to mount my sentiment on. This piece here lines up like this in the center, top to bottom center. So we'll turn this over, and what have we got? Have I got some Stampin' Seal Plus? Yes. So I need to put this piece on here like this, but I don't want adhesive all over the back of this piece. I only want it on that piece there. Alright, so that the card can still bend. So I'm just marking it with my thumb and my finger here, and I'm gonna just put some, I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus because I don't want this to come off. And I'm going to decide where this goes on my card. It's going to go right about the middle, top to bottom. There. And when my card closes, it lies flat, nicely flat like that. This edge lines up here. So we'll do this. We can put glue all over that. We can turn this way, and we can put glue or adhesive. What we can do is we can turn the card upside down. We can pick this up, fold this in half. You can put the card like that. Okay. When you fold this piece over, you just need to make sure that it lines up with the edge of the card. Now, it's hard to see that way, so I'm turning this back. I'm going to fold my card like this, and I'm looking and I'm lining that up right with the edge of my card, manually, if you will, manually, so that I didn't trust myself to lie the card down and flip the back of the card over onto the piece for the inside, because I really wanted it to sit nicely, and you see how nicely it folds flat there, just like that. So then this piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4 basic white. Now I have to be honest, I'm not sure I like this on the back of the card, but there isn't anywhere else on the inside to write. If you write here, everybody's going to be able to see it, and then you wouldn't be able to have a sentiment on the front. I'm putting it on the back because that's how I did the other card, and I want to see which one I like the best, and I need to compare apples and oranges, not apples and oranges. Make sure my card's the right way up. And really, if the card was a basic white card, you could write on the back of the card and it wouldn't make any difference if you didn't have enough room on the inside. So then we've got a sentiment. We used the Peace on Earth from the Regal Reindeer set, and we've got a double oval punch here, and it punches out 2 different sizes, and one is scalloped and one is not. So the smaller piece punching out the sentiment with, just make sure I've got that lined up. Oh, there it goes. And then we need a piece of Evening Evergreen to mount it on. There. A little bit more adhesive. There. I'm going to pop this up on a couple of dimensionals. I'm going to put it down here, I think, on the card. Like that. Then we're going to bring in the bow maker, and we have some linen thread here, and I'm going to take about 12 inches of linen thread and then double it. So I'm actually using 24 or so inches of linen thread. Cut that off. There. And I'm going to wrap it around my bow maker twice. How do I do this? Bring that through there like that. Tie this in a knot. the back. Slide it off. And where I had a little loop, I'm just going to snip that little loop. Trim this. Find a glue dot. Put this little bow on a glue dot. There we go. Put that in the corner of the card. Just let the tails hang down, and there it is. So that's one version of the card. This is the same card but with the papers reversed. I like them both. I think they're both lovely. I still have not made my mind up whether I like the sentiment on the verse on the back and to sign on the back, but I guess you can do that. There's no right or wrong in card making, is there? So there you have them, two versions of the same card, using paper from the Painted Christmas DSP set. My own design. I'm sure the double Z fold's been done by many people many times, but these are my interpretation of it and my my choice of DSP as well. So feel free to copy these cards if you'd like to, just see where you saw it. And as always, if you sell your cards, put the angel stamp, the Stampin' Up! Angel stamp on the back, which just says all the supplies used are Stampin' Up! Supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.